Phone flipping is definitely one of the best side hustles you can start in 2024, especially for teenagers who are looking to kickstart their first ever business and actually make real money, or for those who just want to break free from the trap of the 9 to 5 grind. And a bit of credibility, I made $15,000 last month from phone flipping and it wasn't even hard. You really just need to understand how the game works, and once you do, you're all ready to go. The problem is most people don't know how the game works. They jump in without paying attention to the details and they fail miserably and wonder, why didn't I find success? That's why in this video, I'm going to go through everything you need to know, all those little details, so you will no longer need to wonder, why didn't I find success? And once you go through this video, you'll be able to go out there and truly find success. Now, issue number one, finding profitable deals. A lot of people tell me, oh, I can never find cheap phones, I can never get cheap phones. And my first thought that comes to my head and my complete honest answer is, you're not putting in enough effort. You're not putting in enough effort for a long enough time either. First, to find the cheapest phones, you need to be checking Facebook Marketplace every single 20 minutes, every single day, and you will find the cheap phones. Maybe for the first 2, 3, or even 4 days, you don't find any cheap deals. No, I highly doubt that, but you could just have very bad luck, or you could be in a slow season, anything like that, and that is completely normal. So just stay at it. And another problem to why you couldn't be getting cheap phones is because you're not taking advantage of the outreach method. So when you find new phones listed on Facebook Marketplace that aren't necessarily cheap phones, you still want to outreach to them and you still want to message them, hey, I will pick up immediately, I will pay in cash if you would take, and then you want to state that price that you're willing to buy at, that when you buy at, you can still resell it for a profit, meaning it is still considered a cheap phone. Look, not everyone will say yes to your offer, but some people will. So then it totally just becomes a numbers game and not a luck game. Because somebody could be lucky. 50% of people say yes to their offers, but they only send 4 messages, 2 phones. You could be unlucky and only 25% of people say yes to your offers. But if you send 100 messages, you're getting 25 people saying yes. So make it a numbers game, not a luck game. Now, if you were checking Marketplace every 20 minutes, every single day, looking for these cheap deals, and when you do find them, you message them, hey, I'll pick up immediately. And every time you see new phones listed, you always message them, stating your price at which you would buy it, so then you could sell it for a profit. If you do this every single day, consistently, you will find cheap phones and you will find a lot of them. Issue number 2, effective negotiation. I see a lot of people having problems with negotiating with people, and to be honest, it is a pretty weird one. But I find if you want to negotiate with someone and you want to get the phone for cheaper, you need to give something in return for them to give you, less money off. So the best way is to offer them simpleness and speed. So if you offer to pay in cash and pick up immediately, that appeals a lot to the seller, leading them to be a lot more lenient on the price of the phone. And it is really just that simple. Now keep in mind, if people won't budge, they won't budge. There's no point of going back and forth, trying to get them lower in price when they just won't. As the time you've spent going back and forth with somebody that just won't budge, you could have messaged 3 other people saying you will pick up immediately, you're paying cash, and then stating your price. As going back and forth is just a complete waste of time. I see too many people stuck on just one phone, one person, when you could be out there cutting your losses and messaging way more people and getting way more phones. Issue number 3, managing inventory and pricing. I see people having problems tracking their inventory and their pricing, so they accidentally overpay for phones, or they just completely forget their profit margins, and there is a simple fix to this. Simply just open up an Excel spreadsheet or a Google spreadsheet and just track everything. Track each iPhone and the iPhone's model and the gigabyte storage space, and track exactly how much you bought it for and sold it for. So then you know your exact profits and exactly how much you're making, and then you also know exactly how much you should be paying for each iPhone model and how much you should be selling each iPhone model for. So for example, let's say you went out and you bought an iPhone 11, 128 gigabytes with absolutely no damage, and you got it for $100. And then you went on to sell it on Facebook Marketplace within like 3, 4, 5 days for $250. That then means you can continue selling iPhone 11 128 gigabytes with no damage for $250, and that buying one of those for under $150 at least is considered a good buy. And I think we can both agree making an Excel spreadsheet is just completely boring and not appealing whatsoever. So I've decided to do the hard work for you. I've made a phone reselling tracker. I've linked it in the description for you. It's a template, so just click the link, copy the template, paste it into your own Google spreadsheet, and then just go from there. You're welcome, it's in the description. Issue number 4, adapting to market change. Now, market change doesn't really happen often, but it does, so we still need to cover it. So I would say per month, the prices of each phone usually drop between $10 and $30, obviously depending on the phone model and your currency. And the cheaper phones tend to devalue a lot less than the more expensive phones. So per month, I'd say the iPhone 14 would probably drop by $30 per month, for the iPhone X, maybe only $10. But that's pretty much it for the prices for the phones. But another market change which doesn't happen often is dry seasons. This is something that just comes out of nowhere, and it's basically just your market is dead. A lot less people are buying phones and a lot less people are selling phones. It's totally random and it is totally normal. Sometimes it just happens. Just like anything in life, there is always inconveniences. What really matters is you identify it and you realize it as completely normal. But now we've talked about dead seasons, it's time to talk about the bullish seasons. I've found that there are specifically 2 seasons during the whole year that the market is just mayhem and absolutely amazing for us phone flippers. First is before and after Christmas. As before Christmas, everybody is buying phones as gifts, and after Christmas, everyone is receiving gifts and then selling their second-hand phones on Facebook Marketplace for us to sweep in, buy them, resell them for a profit. Like me personally, my biggest month ever with phone flipping was in December. And the next bullish season is every time the new iPhone drops. As when the new phone drops, everybody rushes to go and buy it, then meaning that they have their second-hand phone that they list up on Facebook Marketplace, and then there's just a huge market for us phone flippers. Issue number 5, customer service. When it comes to customer service, you just want to be a good and a nice person, which you should already be. But now, it doesn't happen often, but excuse my language, sometimes you will deal with dickheads. Sometimes you will sell a phone to a person and they'll make a regretful buy and then want a refund. And now this is up to you if you want to refund them or not. Of course, if you refund them, you just get the phone back and just resell it again, pretty simple. But if you don't give a refund, the buyer might be angry at you. And a simple way around this is to just not give out your address, meaning whenever you're selling people phones, just meet them locally instead of at your house. As well, you don't necessarily want an angry person knowing exactly where you live. But another reason why people might ask for a refund is if you sell them a phone and there's something wrong with it, and if there is, usually you should just give a refund. As well, you should have checked the phone properly before actually buying it so you knew there was no problems. So what I'm trying to say is check the phone properly to make sure there is no problems, and then you won't have to deal with people asking for a refund because the phone has problems. Now, issue number 6, legal compliance. Now, with the legal side of phone flipping, it all really depends on how much you make and where you live. Now, phone flipping is majority done in cash, so when it comes to paying taxes, it's all in your hands. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do, whether you want to write it all down and you want to pay the taxes, or you want to write none of it and pay no taxes. That is really just your decision. But another thing people ask me is it okay to resell phones and is it legal? And well, yes, it is legal. I don't know why I get this question so much, but of course it's legal. You are literally just buying people's second-hand phones off Facebook Marketplace for cheap and then reselling them straight back to Facebook Marketplace for what they're worth and just making a profit. Now, if you just considered all the things we just discussed, then you're absolutely good to go. Now, there is absolutely nothing standing in between you and finding success with phone flipping, and now you'll truly realize just how simple and easy phone flipping is. And now, I hope you find success with phone flipping, and if you still have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll respond. Also, if any of you guys out there would like my personal one-on-one help and support with phone flipping, and fully just hold your hand and guide you along the whole process, then DM me the word phone on Instagram at CharlieCCHRANE. It'll be right here, but yes, DM me the word phone and I will personally help you. But anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.